was Arnold, wasn't it? He made good on his threat.
Yeah, apparently Ben Arnold couldn't wait till the new year to fulfill his resolution. Seems he had an ace in the hole, and I didn't even know about it.
What ace in the hole?
He has a friend in Washington who's a senator, who called NIB headquarters, who then called Sacramento, and the rest is history.
That's unbelievable.
No, that's politics, Kelly.
I feel responsible for this, Maccabe. If it hadn't been for me, you wouldn't be in this situation. You wouldn't have helped BJ.
I tell you what, I feel a lot worse right now if she was on her way to prison. I do not regret anything that I've done.
Is there anything I can do? My family has a lot of influence.
Hey, Connor! Congratulations. Way to go, man.
Where does he get off talking to you that way? That was cruel.
Well, these guys, they consider me a hero because I stuck it to Arnold. Apparently, he wasn't a very popular guy down at City Hall.
Well, I'm serious about what I said. My family's influence. If Arnold can call Washington, then maybe my father can call the governor, and they can talk the NIB into reconsidering about your job.
No, Kelly, it's okay. I figure that it's time to move on. If this is the price that I have to pay for my integrity, well, that's the way I want to live.
If it's any consolation, I really admire you for what you've done. Me too.
If this hug means more to me than you'll ever know.
What did you say?
I said Anджела and I have been lovers for the past 6 months.
You're lying.
It's a hell of a thing to lie about.
Why? Why are you doing this to me?
Why don't you just stay put there? I have a little bedtime story for you.
Wow. Your finger's a little sore? You've been typing since last night.
I know. My body's tired, but my mind isn't. I feel like I can't rest until I get this finished. Writing is sort of my catharsis right now, my way of putting everything that happened behind me. I think it's my key to healing.
These your notes from the trial?
Yeah.
This is amazing. Under all that heat, you were able to write all these thoughts down and make it comprehensive.
Well, it's sort of the only thing that kept me sane. That and your support.
Well, you've definitely got that. I gotta be honest with you, BJ. I'm looking forward to reading this. I think a lot of people are.
I take it back. You're the key to my healing.
Whoops. Sorry, Warren.
What is it, Jim?
BJ, there's a couple guys from Hollywood out here to see you.
Will you ever forgive me for costing you your job?
Would you stop? I'm not blaming you. I'm responsible for my own actions. It was my choice.
I know. But I remember what you told me when you were a little kid and your dad died, how much you wanted to be an agent. I know how much law enforcement means to you.
Well, once an agent, always an agent. I am what I am. But on to other dreams, right?
What will you do now?
I don't know. Something will come along. I hope. The last thing I want to do is sit here and talk about my next job.
Okay. Well, here I am. How about if I'm a distraction for you, huh? How about if I take you out to dinner tonight?
Really?
Yeah, why not? I could take you to the Oasis. They have an exceptional Friday night special. Best place in town. What do you say?
I don't know. You think we could get in there?
I think I've got an in with the management, yeah. How about if I go home and get changed and you pick me up a little bit? Hmm?
Okay, I'll be there.
Okay.
All right, see ya.
Yeah, see you. Bye.
Take care. So you finally scored a date with the lady, huh? Oh, my God, this is really unbelievable.
A couple weeks ago, remember when you were asking Anджела to have dinner with you? Came over to her house to pick her up. I was upstairs in her bathtub under the water. God, I mean, you can't even imagine how many times you almost caught us.
So when, after Katrina found out, when did the affair end?
Well, that's about the time she started to get her memory back. And, of course, she didn't want to have anything to do with me. She despised me. But only until we came back here, because then she wanted to get things going again. And I said, no. I said, I want to try to make it up to Katrina, you know? Katrina didn't want anything to do with me.
Well, that left you an open door with Anджela. So what happened?
She started seeing you. She said she wanted a more mature relationship.
Why now? Tell me, why are you telling me this now? Knowing I'm in love with the girl. Do you hate me that much?
Hi, I'm B.J. Walker. How do you do?
Good evening, Miss Walker. My name's Bob Morris. This is Howard Cohn.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Walker.
This is Warren Lockridge, owner and publisher of The Conscience.
How you doing?
Hi.
What brings you guys to Santa Barbara tonight?
The most incredible story we have ever followed. Yours, B.J. And it all began with the Rachel Ann series you printed in your paper, Mr. Lockridge. We followed it closely, never dreaming it would culminate the way it did.
We were very affected by all that you've been through in the past 10 years. I'm the father of 2 daughters, and the compassion I felt for you is beyond anything I've ever experienced. I knew I had to meet you.
Well, what is this all about?
B.J., child sexual abuse exists in every pocket of America. Now, you have done a major public service by coming forward with your story. It's time to take it further.
So what exactly are you guys getting at?
We're television producers, and we're here because we're interested in BJ's life story.
What happened to you, B.J., took 10 years to unfold. We want to show your story to 80 million people in 3 nights. A 3-part miniseries.
We'd like to buy the rights to your story.
She's not interested.
Please. Now, we drove all the way up here just to talk to you, Miss Walker. Won't you at least hear us out?
Listen, why don't you let us take you to dinner? You and Mr. Lockridge. Give us a chance to explain what we have in mind. Come on, what have you got to lose?
I don't hate you. Yeah, when this whole thing started, you weren't even part of the equation.
I don't think that's really true. You know how I felt about Katrina? I think you conducted this little affair to snub me.
Believe me, I did not give it that much thought. Katrina was innocent, and Anджела was experienced, and I wanted both. And I lost both.
Well, if the affair with Anджela was over, why would you want to hurt me? I thought we settled all our differences. Why would you bring this up to me now?
I don't know. I just, maybe, I'd like to think it's because I'm tired of lying to you.
I think it's a lot of bull. That's what I think. I think you're in competition with your father. That's what I think. And you love the girl.
And you can't get the girl. So your father's not going to get the girl. Your father's not going to be happy either. How many years you waited for this? How many years you waited to get back to me? Look, if that's what you want to think, then fine. This is the hardest thing that I have ever had to tell you.
It's been so painful for me, walking around and looking in your eyes and knowing all of this. But why should you even consider that, huh? No, we'll have it your way as usual. I am a dirtbag son. Well, it's nothing more than to destroy his father. Right.
So once you give us the go-ahead, BJ, we want you to come in as our technical advisor.
Make sure we tell the story honestly, your story. No exaggeration, no false pretenses at all.
Right from when the incest began when you were 10, right up through the trial.
Your story, BJ, will be the biggest television event of the year. We're talking Super Bowl numbers here.
What?
Big ratings.
Ratings, honey. It's the opposite of morals.
But in this case, the twain shall meet. Now, we're very sensitive to what BJ's been through. And the fact is, personal tragedies are big at the networks this season.
And that translates into a big payday for you, BJ.
Are these guys kidding? Well, hello. Hi,
Oh, Kelly.
Connor.
Connor, how you doing? I'd like to introduce you to Bob and Howard.
Bob? Hi.
Hi, Kelly
How are
Cadwell.
you? Nice to meet you. Hi. Connor Mackabe. Yeah, that sounds familiar. NIB man, right? You headed the murder investigation.
Yes, that's right.
He could play himself.
Excuse us, we didn't want to interrupt your dinner. BJ, it's great to see you so happy again.
Thanks, it's good to be so happy.
Well, it was nice meeting you, and have a nice dinner.
Nice.
Nice.
Thank you.
See you later.
What was that with BJ and Ward? What's going on?
I don't really know. I'd like some type of
Business dinner or something.
I guess so.
Oh, we won't need those. Would you please tell Henri that Kelly Cadwell wants the Friday night special, the lobster béarnaise for 2.
Good choice.
Hey,
Miss
could you
Cadwell.
also bring a nice, crisp bottle of Fumé Blanc with that? Make it your choice.
Yes, sir. I have just the one.
Good. Thank you.
It's too bad that you can't stay in Santa Barbara.
Well, are you saying that we have a future?
When you say future, it's hard to say. I think we're definitely on our way to a friendship, and for us, that's really good. Why are you looking at me that way?
Well, you're kind of sexy when you squirm.
Gabe, I'm just saying that it would be a shame for you to just leave Santa Barbara with your tail between your legs. You're this big old tough guy. It just wouldn't be appropriate.
Don't worry about it. If the phoenix can rise up from the ashes, so can I. And the Ben Arnolds of this world have not heard the last of Connor Mackaibe. I can guarantee you that.
You know, I really don't know very much about you, except what you told me when you were a kid, you know, about your dad, and that you're from Chicago. Do you have any brothers and sisters?
I have 4. 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and I'm the oldest.
Wow. It must have been very tough for your mom when your dad died.
Well, that's the great thing about a big family, you know. We are all some type of comfort for her.
What happened with your dad's business?
Well, my mom really didn't know how to run a hardware store, so she sold it. She didn't make very much, so as we got older, we found odd jobs to keep the roof over our heads. And me? Well, I became the hero. I got this job at Wrigley Field, selling peanuts for the Chicago Cubs.
I love that. That sounds like fun.
No, it wasn't. It was hard work, up and down those stairs with this big, like, bin of peanuts strapped around my neck. So ever since that time, I was considered the overachiever, and I was always expected to do good.
So how's your mom going to feel when she knows you've been fired?
Well, I'm sure she'll be fine when I tell her I've got another job.
Does she still live in Chicago?
Yes, she lives with one of my sisters, but they're struggling. So I send them a piece of my paycheck every week.
I feel rotten. I just feel responsible for all this. I can't help it. Excuse me for a minute.
Excuse me. You see that couple over there? He's with the Santa Barbara Police Department. Now, on his budget, he could never afford these. So would you just see that he gets this and a bottle of wine when we're gone? Okay? I think probably this should take care of the dinner. There's a nice tip for you. Now, if anybody asks you, these are burned, right?
I think I understand, sir.
Good. Thank you.
What happened?
Oh, the dinner was overcooked, so I sent it back, and I didn't even bother to reorder.
Well, I've got to talk to the chef.
Wait, listen, I got a better idea. You know, I'm a great cook. Why don't we just go back to your place, put something together? It's a good idea.
If that's what you want, let's do it.
Let's go.
Okay.
We are talking Emmy Award here. I'm telling you, BJ, your story has all the elements of a major blockbuster. 30 share.
What's a 30 share?
Ratings. It's percentages. It's 30% of that viewing audience in the time slot. Is that right, fellas?
Yeah, very good.
BJ, why don't you grab an attorney and let's do a 6-month option with an extension for 6 more. I'll go right to the network and get us a development deal. Then you can write the treatment and pen the first draft.
Look, you're probably not going to understand what I'm going to say because we obviously don't speak the same language. This is my life we're talking about here. I've spent a lot of time in the spotlight, a lot more than I care to think about recently. And I don't want that. Emotionally, I need my privacy, I need time to heal, and I plan to write.
Well, then why not write with us and make a pile of money at the same time?
Bob, tell BJ who we're trying to get to play her.
We have put in a phone call to Demi Moore.
All right, fellas, that's enough. Unfortunately for you, I happen to know a little bit about your business. And I know an actress like that doesn't move from an aspiring film career to television. And as far as BJ writing the script herself, no matter how good she is, well, I need a shovel for that manure. I've done interviews with important people in Hollywood, and I know what it takes to get a television show on the air. A show never flies at a network unless you have a network writer with a track record. If BJ did write a script, we'd probably never see one of her words on screen. Now, I think you heard the young lady. You were leaving?
Please, we have got to strike while the iron's hot.
Excuse me. These gentlemen were just leaving. Could you see them out? Have a nice trip to Hollywood.
Call my attorney.
My secretary will be in touch.
This way, please, gentlemen.
So where do we go from here?
I don't know.
You know, we're like two marathon runners who hit the wall. Do we pick ourselves up and go our separate ways, or what?
I'm sorry, Dad.
What happened here, son? Can you tell me?
I didn't want to tell you the truth because I hated you. And I told you because I think I love Angjela. I know I should have told her a long time ago, but I didn't. I didn't think she'd listen to me. And she likes to be in control all the time, and she likes to be strong. So it never occurred to me when she came to me and asked me and told me. Yeah, the only thing she wants is what everybody else wants. She wants to be loved. God, I'm so messed up.
The whole night was worth it when you threw those Hollywood phonies out the door. I was in hysterics. Once again, you were my hero.
Well, I do aim to please, you know. BJ, seriously. You'll tell your story when you're ready to tell it. Your way. Okay? Listen, while we're on that subject, I would really love to read what you've written so far. Would you mind?
No. I'm nervous about you reading it.
Nervous? Well, I don't know what to say about that. It would be a privilege for me to read that, no matter what shape it's in. I think you're a hell of a writer. And by the way, you're about to become a very important one, too. BJ, do you understand the key to this is that this is real? You experience this? People read this and they'll be able to identify with what went on. They'll know what child molestation is about. Do you have any idea that writers dream of being in a position like this? I mean, forget the Emmy. You're looking at a Pulitzer.
I had no idea you had that kind of respect for my work.
Does it surprise you?
Yes. I guess because you're a better writer than anyone I've ever known. And I always wondered why you never wrote a book yourself.
Well, I thought about it, but I'm happy doing what I'm doing now. I run a newspaper. I teach a little bit. And as your teacher, forget the apple, and let me take a look at that, huh? Or I kick you out of class. Please? You're heading towards an A, young lady.
Does she love you?
I don't know. I don't even know how I feel. How the hell am I supposed to know how she feels? I think that, yeah, there was a time when she could have loved me. But I blew it. I was so afraid of my own feelings that I couldn't let anything that was happening to us mean anything.
Well, that indicates to me, son, that you're still carrying a torch. Which leads me to another question. If you feel that way about Angjela, why are you marrying Lily? Is it to make Angjela jealous?
That's part of it. Well, no, that's all of it, but you see, Lily, she's good for me, Dad. She understands me. She knows all of my problems, you know, and she doesn't care. She calls me on all of them, you know. It still doesn't faze her. She's not bothered by it. She's safe and she's comfortable. And she's my best friend. Besides, you know, I know that with Lily, I can have exactly what you and Mom had.
Well, you're right about one thing. Your mother and I were best friends. But there was more to it, son. There has to be more in a marriage. Passion and romance kind of dwindle after a while, and then the partnership really begins. And if you marry solely for comfort, it gets quite uncomfortable after a while. So if you're in love with Anджела, you got no business marrying Lily.
You offered Rafe a job?
Well, of course I did. This is a man who shares my passion for ancient civilizations. Come on, he's going to be very good. He's really going to be a big help.
Lionel, I think you're confused here. This is not your project. It's Ted's project. Rafe works for Ted.
I know that. But you see, if Ted is laid up, he can't do it. Somebody has to chronicle this event. And I'm going to be the one to do it, and he's going to help me. All right?
You're crazy. You're going to ruin the whole thing. I had this whole plan.
Shh. Hang on. Did you know that some of these ancient tribes put triggering devices in their burial sites? I mean, this whole cave could come tumbling down around us.
Oh, Lionel, that's a bunch of baloney.
Wait. Gotcha.
Oh.
Okay. Now, you were saying some idea about it, huh?
This whole idea that I have, it's a plan to get Rafe and Lisa out of town. I'm going to send them on this tour, this promotional tour for Gina Jeans, because I want Rafe away from Lily, and you've come in and you've undermined me.
Excuse me. You are taking a man who has this great cultural heritage and is proud of his lineage, and you're going to make him into a wimp model?
That's right.
Huh?
And you may have to help me. You see, I'm not sure that Lisa could convince him to go. But right now, we've got a wedding to plan.
Excuse me. There's a great historical thing at work here, and you're trying to get me to become a bridal shower planner? Is that what you're telling me? This is a great historical significance.
Lionel, move. Come on.
All right, well, I can do it in a
I need your help.
I can do the bridal showers first.
Hey, honey.
Hi. I just saw Gina at the dig site, and she said that you wanted to see me.
Yes. Are we in for a great Christmas? Guess what Gina gave us?
What did Gina give us?
Jobs. We are going to go on a national tour campaign for Gina Jeans, which means first class all across the country, make a fortune while we're doing it, and get the honeymoon that we never had.
I can't possibly go. Ted's laid up in the hospital with a broken leg. He needs me now more than ever. Lionel just gave me a job as his assistant.
Really? Digging around in some disgusting cave surrounded by human bones and looking at someone's old finger paintings?
It's called archaeology. That's what I want to do. Look, I found something that I really want to learn about.
Do you not realize that by going on this tour, we could make enough money to put a down payment on a house?
Lisa, if you want to go, then go. I know how much modeling means to you. I can't go with you.
And I can't go without you. Gina made it very clear that it has to be the both of us.
Okay, why didn't Gina tell me this when I saw her at the dig site?
Well, because she wanted your wife to break the good news to you.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but modeling is not for me. Gina can get another male model a lot better than me.
Do you not get this? It has to be you. That is the whole point here.
What is the point here? What is the point?
Gina wants you out of town for Lily's
wedding. Dinner will be ready in 20 minutes, you animals, you. Oh, this is beautiful. This former pillar of justice is making out with my poodle.
Well, actually, it's all your fault. I offered to help with dinner, and you refused.
That's right, because it was my invitation. It is so weird that the Oasis burned those lobsters. They've never done that before that I know of.
Doesn't bother me. I'm really happy being here. Just the two of us. Okay, the three of us. The three of us.
Yeah, there's three of us. Time for bed.
Yeah, if you insist.
Oh, it's very funny, Maccabe. Why don't you go be useful or something and pour us a couple glasses of wine.
Okay.
Thank you.
There you go.
Well, I think it's a shame that you have to leave Santa Barbara just when we're becoming friends.
Friends. Is like friends etched in stone? What is it with that? But just friends. Hmm? Now, what is that? Is that a charity kiss for a free agent?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Friends, huh? You know what? I think it's time that we turn this up a notch.
This is it. This is the real stuff.
Is it good?
It's very good. It needs some work, but I can see how much you've grown since the trial, how much you've come in touch with your feelings.
Well, what can I do to make it better?
Constructive criticism? BJ, you need to put things in perspective. You need to take your experience, and you also need to combine it with what you've learned. Remember that session you went to? The incest survivors. You sat with them. You sat through a full meeting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what you learned from that.
Well, that my story is more than just my own experience.
Exactly. Now, you've got to take that, those people in that room, and just imagine there are a million other people out there who are going to experience, who are experiencing, and who have experienced exactly what you've gone through. You see, your story is theirs.
I was right. You are the one that should write a book.
I'd rather concentrate on you.
How did I get so lucky? I have an editor, my coach, and the man I love all rolled into one.
Rafe, please. I mean, don't you see? The whole point is here. If you stay, Gina's gonna think it's because you want to stop Lily from marrying Ted.
That's crazy.
Is it crazy? Well, then, if it is, I think it's a perfect time to prove that you finally made a choice between the two of us.
Where the hell is all this coming from? I mean, just an hour ago, I was down in a cave with Lionel, feeling great about a project I'm about to start. I had no thoughts of Lily, or her marriage, or busting up her plans. You and I are married, right?
But that's not good enough. If you turn this down, if you refuse to go on tour with me, then everybody, including me, is going to take that to mean that you still want Lily. Now, is that the truth, Rafe? Do you still want her?
I am not going on a road. I am busy.
still didn't answer my question.
But, you know, I don't know if I love Anджела. You know, I don't know if I want to love Anджela. Dad, I don't know. I don't know how to handle this. What do we do?
I want to help you, son. I am still your father. Even though it is somewhat difficult, we both happen to care so deeply about the same woman. And I don't really relish the idea of competing with my own son.
Well, I don't think you're going to have to worry about that. As soon as she finds out that I told you all this, she's gonna hate me.
She doesn't have to know. We'll keep it between the two of us.
You'd do that for me?
How many times do I have to keep reminding you that I love you?
Are you going to continue to see her?
I don't know. I'm very confused right now, and I'm hurt. And I'm very cognizant of the fact that you were the one that came to me with this. Not Anджела.
Are you sure you have to leave town?
Does it matter?
No.
I thought you wanted to get rid of me.
I do.
Think I'd get bored here? All right.
What do you think, Mackeyb?
I think that I can't do this.
What?
I have to be honest with you.
What is this? You're married? What?
No, it's nothing like that, no.
I'm a little confused. I thought this is what you wanted.
Oh, listen, this is what I want. This is serious, Kelly. It's about my job. I left something out.
All right. Tell me.
Okay, well, I did get fired from my job. But I have another job.
You have another job. You have another job.
Thank you for believing in me, for encouraging me, inspiring me to continue writing.
I do it because I believe in you. And because I'm very proud of you. Now, get back to work, huh? I gotta put a newspaper to bed.
Okay. I love you.
And quit stealing my lines.
Warren, where did you put my Rachel Ann journal?
Dangerous Roads and Jasmine. A novel by Warren Moss.